Hi everybody, welcome back to my studio. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this orange that I showed you on Thursday, the one that you all hate me for. I wanted to do this with you in class, or at least get started, but I felt like all the sphere work we did in class would be good preparation for you to try this one on your own over the weekend. So I'm sorry, but I have to teach you how to draw a little bit because you can't trace everything, can you? I mean, I guess you can, but watercolor is a drawing medium. So we fall in love with the watery, ethereal, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, but the very beautiful qualities of watercolor that we sometimes skip over its versatility as a drawing medium that simulates painting. So you're probably wondering what I'm doing right now. Hopefully my I can't see in my camera. There it is. Hopefully my pencil is showing. I wanted to show you how to sharpen a pencil for drawing. We've learned how to sharpen pencils for writing, and usually the tip, let me see if I can get this close to the camera for you. Always close your blade when you're done with it. Sorry, I am not a videographer. Here we go. So as you can see, what I've done is I've kind of whittled the tip of my pencil to reveal more lead at the top. Now this isn't lead, it's graphite, but you know, for conversation's sake, we call it the lead of the pencil, right? And the reason why I'm doing that is because when I draw the way I write, like this, straight down, and I press into my paper, this is a little fulcrum, going along with the moving camera. This is a little fulcrum that's going, bam, pushing it down. I talked about last time pressure on your paper. For pencil and a brush, you really want to kind of attack it from the side. So I like to kind of hold my pencil like a musical conductor. Do, 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 do. But by changing that pressure to my finger, the fulcrum's now on my finger instead of my wrist. My wrist doesn't do a lot here. Instead, my arm can swirl around and draw. I can just drag that big pencil lead onto the paper, and I end up making a bigger mark than just the tip of the pencil. So I'm going to find another pencil here in my studio to show you how I sharpened it this way. But really quick, I want to just roll through some safety issues about the blade. I like to use a regular box cutter. Construction workers call it a utility knife. This one's nice because it just fits in the palm of your hand. You can grip it, and then it has a locking and sliding lever there that pops your blade out. Sorry, I'm like, there's so many things in my view. I want you to see that. This button pushes down to make it move, but when you let go, it stays in one place. That's important to know when you close it and open it. So when you open it to use it, make sure it's fully extended. There's not a lot of uses for our purposes where you need it halfway. So always extend it out all the way. Make sure it's locked in position. You can tell if you press it on something, it's not going to detract. Here, let me put that on the camera, sorry. See, it's locked in place. So I can press, I can put full pressure on this and know that the blade isn't going to just go zoop and slide out. So that's important. Make sure it's locked in place when you're using it. But when you close it, you'll see this lever kind of clicks to a few different locking positions. And there's nothing worse than accidentally putting it to this position and then throwing it in your bag or something and getting a nasty cut. So when you are done using the blade, every time you use it in the full position, when you're done, you make sure it's fully closed, look at it, and then put it away or put it down. Even if you have to make multiple cuts. If I make a cut and I need to put it down, I'm always going to retract the blade. Don't grab it with the blade open. So there's your little safety run through. Let's sharpen a pencil really quick. I've got a Dixon Ticonderoga that looks a little chopped up, but let me find one that's just kind of in its normal, like how you get it from the factory. Here we go. Stadletter Mars Lumograph. This is a B. I wouldn't normally use this for drawing. It's a little hard lead, but as you can see, this is kind of how you get it from the manufacturer. If you use a standard pencil sharpener, you get that. So let me compare to the one I just sharpened. Here we go. Sorry, it's not focusing. So what we see is that the lead is probably 4 times as long. And then the wood that's showing, I would say, is at least double the wood on this one here. So, oh, sorry. My setup is just duct tape. So, if you wanted to sharpen your pencil to get that lead showing where you can have a little more surface area on your paper, I don't think I could do it this way. I have to stand in front of you. Okay. Hopefully you can see this. And not me, because I'm in my PJs. So where I would start kind of shaving, you want to shave the blade, or I'm sorry, shave the pencil using the power of your blade and kind of your thumb too. The right hand, your dominant hand, is going to hold this blade like a fist. Your left hand is going to hold your pencil, but also the thumb is going to push the blade on the wood so that you can lightly shave as opposed to gouging into it. If you gouge into your pencil, it's going to be hard to smooth that angle out. Because when we sharpen, we want to get a nice gradual angle that goes from the straightness of the pencil. I hope you can see this. Yeah, you can. Can you? All right. This is where I need to be, my depth of field. Okay. That angle from the straightness of your pencil to the pencil lead needs to be a very gentle, long angle. That way, when I lay it down on the paper, I can do it on the side. With this one, there's such an angle. It's very like, you know, you have to kind of, it's not giving us what we need. This one can give us a lot more surface area when we draw. But also, we're not pressing down hard. I don't want to mess up this paper. So I'll stop goofing around with that and just show you. Sometimes just showing you is a little easier than talking about it because these are all physical processes. So I'm going to try to just stay right here where I know the camera can see it. Hopefully you see this. So when you start to whittle your pencil to sharpen it, I like to start about double the length of wood showing in the painted area of the pencil. So I just want to kind of say, okay, that's that much. I'm going to start about that width down, or that length. So what I'm doing is I'm putting all of my movement into my left hand, my non-dominant hand that's holding the pencil. That little thumb is what's doing all the work. If you've ever whittled, which maybe a little at 6th grade camp and whittle some soap or something, but that's kind of the motion you're going for. I notice when people are starting this process, starting this out as beginners, there's a tendency to want to use the right hand, the hand that has the blade. Whack, 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 whack. We're not peeling potatoes. If you use the right hand just to hold and steady the blade, and you use the left thumb for movement, you can get very thin strips of wood off of your pencil, which is what you need to do, because you have to slowly shave it down to where the, see, now I'm doing a little potato peeling. That's just kind of to smooth it out. But those precise cuts where you need it to hit in a certain depth of the wood, you really need to use that little thumb pushing. So as I whittle and the lead gets a little bit more exposed, I have to be careful because that lead is fragile, and I'm sure those of you who've tried this or something similar in the past, if you show too much of that lead, it'll break, right? So it's about trying to figure out for yourself, through trial and error. Yes, screw up some pencils, it's just a pencil, it costs you $1, but ruin some pencils while learning how to get your angle good at the same time, and you'll never need to have a dull pencil again. But more importantly, you'll be able to draw in a way that supports your painting practice, because we don't want to push all this lead and marks into our paper.